Our second stop on the tour of Pure Land Gardens in Japan will be at another 11th century temple, Jôruri-ji, situated in the city of Kizugawa between Kyoto and Nara. In the previous video, we said that a Pure Land garden reflects Sukhavati, the paradise of the Buddha Amitabha, known as Amitabutsu in Japanese. And, entering Jôruri-ji, we soon spot a pond that is exquisitely laid out with round stones, with an island in the middle. There is a stone arrangement on one end of the island, with one stone standing upright above the others. This arrangement could be the expression of the rough coast Ara Iso. Do you remember? The carp that jumps over Dragon's Gate to become a dragon from the video about the prominent stone in the Garden of Tô-in, Stories from Japanese Gardens 3, or Mount Meru, the mountain of the Buddhist universe from the same episode. By the 11th century, these two elements had become a classic feature of Japanese gardens. Another already established element was the peninsula-like protruding of the bank Dejima. One of the Dejima here is rounded and longer, the other more rectangular and shorter. With the island in the middle, they probably give the lake the form of the Chinese sign for the first letter of the Sanskrit alphabet A, a symbol of birth, life, and eternity, as the lake which separates life from death in the Pure Land of Sukhavati. And, as if to suggest the exquisite pleasures in the Pure Land of Amitabha, a small shrine on the island is dedicated to the popular in Japan Banzai-ten, or Sarasvati Devi, the Hindu goddess of arts, wisdom, and eloquence. The goddess probably also reminds us of the musicians and dancers accompanying the benevolent Buddha when he descends to bring the soul of a deceased believer to the coveted paradise. The temple of Jôruri-ji prides itself in featuring one more Hindu goddess, the elegant statue of Kisho-ten, or Lakshmi, the Devi of happiness, fertility, and beauty. This deity is evidently also in harmony with the Amitabha's paradise. The hall of Amitabha is to the right of the pond, yet it houses not one but 9 statues of the Buddha. Why so many? Because according to the Sutra Amitayus, or the Amitayus meditation, where Amitayus is the other name of Amitabha, people are divided by their birth into 9 levels, and Amitabha will come to meet the souls of his believers at any of these 9 levels, in the corresponding form for that level. It is actually 3 levels, the upper, middle, and lower ones, which in turn are each once again divided into the same levels. The further up the scale, the higher the level of the person. But how are these levels judged? The Sutra says, the person of highest standing is the one who does things for others. On the other hand, the person of lowest standing is someone who does things for one's own profit. But in Buddhism they say, let others gain from your profit. So while the lowest in standing would only think of their own profit, and the highest would only think of profit for others, those who are in the middle would think of their profit but make others take something as well. It is a Buddhist concept, yet it no doubt flourished in Japan more than anywhere else. Now those who understand Japanese know what the words johin and geihin should actually mean. We translate johin as elegant, polished, polite, and graceful. It originally related to moral beauty and reflects self-forgiveness and pure generosity of heart. And geihin is interpreted as grossness, vulgarism, coarseness, and commonness, as pure selfishness. But Amitabutsu will come for everyone, even for the most selfish of us. That is how generous-hearted he is. And here at the main hall of Jôruri-ji, one can see the statue of each of the 9 representations of Amitabha. It is nowadays one of the very few such representations that have remained in Japan. It is a real national treasure. Now, there is a pagoda across from the Amida Hall on the other side of the pond. It is dedicated to the medicinal Buddha Yakushi Nyurai. Yes, another Buddha. You certainly remember by now that in Mahayana, the great vehicle Buddhism, universes are born and collapse every kalpa of time, and each universe has its own Buddha who comes to save humans from the karmic suffering of their numerous rebirths. Yakushi Nyurai's pure land of lapis lazuli light is to the east of Mount Meru. Yet instead of welcoming the souls there, this Buddha has vowed to deliver all beings during their lifetime from the pains and guilt arising from their materialistic desires, to cure the sick and help the helpless using the medicine of the Dharma teachings. Jôruri-ji Temple is actually named after the pure land of this Buddha, because the meaning of Jôruri in Japanese is pure lapis lazuli. So, the pond garden of Jôruri-ji is situated between two pure lands. You may turn to the east of the lake to pray to the medicinal Buddha for health and serenity during your lifetime. Then you may turn to the west and face the 9 forms of Amitabha while uttering the words Namu Amida Butsu, I believe in Amida Buddha, in the hope that one day one of them will come down to meet you with celestial musicians and dancers and bring you to Sukhavati. Passing by the Amida Hall uphill toward the pagoda that houses the statue of the medicinal Buddha, we can see a small boat parked under the maple trees. It evokes images of the gorgeous dragon and bird-headed boats that once floated on the ponds of such gardens. During the ages and the way Jôruri-ji evolved, worldly pleasures have taken over simpler forms, such as the small barge you see here. Even the curved and straight bridges, which we talked about in previous videos, were substituted by a single piece. We'll talk about that evolution in one of the next videos.